What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City live watch-along. Today we're going to be doing the live stream watch-along of Manchester City's big Premier League match between Luton Town and Manchester City, taking place at Kenilworth Road. Really big game, this one, for both teams. Luton currently sitting in the relegation zone. They're needing points. Manchester City, we've not got away with one this weekend, but with Arsenal losing, it stopped the gap at the top getting what could have been maximised and being even bigger. You did see Liverpool go behind against Crystal Palace away from home and come back and win that game. So it does mean Man City are playing the chasing game when it comes to the Premier League title. So Manchester City, they need to win this game. We've not been in great form. Last 4 games, we've not won in all of them. We drew against Chelsea away. We drew against Liverpool at home. We drew against Spurs at home. And then we had that embarrassment on Wednesday night against Aston Villa away from home, where Manchester City could muster up just 2 shots in the whole game, both of them coming in the 11th minute. We go on, we got outplayed. Aston Villa go on to win that game by 1-0. Aston Villa, title threats. I remember doing that City Extra stream. No one was ready or willing to talk about Aston Villa. Are they title threats? And I remember saying that if they go on and beat Manchester City and they beat Arsenal, they need to be taken seriously. And that's exactly what's happened. And to me, they are title threats. At this moment in time, Aston Villa, they're right up there with where they need to be. Manchester City are trailing Aston Villa. We're trailing Liverpool. We're trailing Arsenal. We've got some catch-up to do. We need to win this game. This is a must-win game for Manchester City. I look at our fixtures throughout the rest of December. I think to myself, winnable games. Luton away, Crystal Palace at home. We come back after the Club World Cup. A couple of big games straight after Christmas. Everton away, Sheffield United at home to end the year on. These are 4 massive winnable games for Manchester City, and these are the kind of games City needs to be picking up maximum points and putting the pressure onto everybody else, onto the teams above us, onto the Villas, onto the Arsenals, onto the Liverpools, and pushing from there. That is how Manchester City potentially win the Premier League in May, because if they don't and they allow this form to continue, then Manchester City will fall away very quickly. And you look at the rest of the Premier League, there's so much inconsistency there. Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United, Newcastle United, they've been pretty inconsistent, all 3 of them teams so far this season. And Manchester City, you don't want to be thinking that we're hanging around with the Manchester Uniteds of this world. We want to be competing right at the very top of the league. Well, to do that, you need to win your games. Luton Town away from home starting today needs to happen, and it's not going to be an easy game. Mark my words, Luton, they will raise their game. They're a very physical side, a very defensive side, a very organised side. You look at Luton Town, I imagine there'll be people out there who will look at their team, and a couple of the players might go, who's that? Well, that just suggests to me that they work really hard as a team. You do not end up in the Premier League for no reason, by fluke. You get there because you earn your place there. Then players have earned their place in the Premier League to be Premier League players, have earned their way into that starting 11, and Luton will dig deep. Arsenal very nearly came unstuck against Luton on Tuesday evening. Manchester City need to be really wary of that, and it's got even more complicated with the news of injuries to Jeremy Doku and to Erling Haaland, both not in the squad today. For Manchester City, does our task get even harder? We'll have to wait and see. We will go through the teams in just one moment. So before I do crack on with this live watch along, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to the channel. That would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links. You can find them in the description and also on the yellow banner if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email those in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up on this live stream. We're doing very well on the likes, which is fantastic to see. So big double thumbs up from me there. Already on to 36 likes, so we're just 64 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. And finally, do leave your thoughts in the live chat. We've got it rolling. Do leave where you're tuning in from. That would be much appreciated. I'm very nosy, so I'd like to know where everyone's tuning in from around the world, watching the live watch along and watching Manchester City today. And also do get your score predictions in there as well. So heading over to the chat, we've got Adrian in on the chat, much appreciated. Says Haaland, bone stress in the foot, season 23-24, the season of injuries. Spot on the money there. We've been very unlucky this year with injuries. Bone stress, how long's that? How long's Haaland expected to be out for? 1 minute, let's have a look. Bone stress injury. Recovery time. So it says it includes it will depends on how long you've had your symptoms. So it's a potential. Is it a broken foot? A bone stress injury is a very serious injury. It says here 6 to 16 weeks. Haaland's not out for 6 to 16 weeks, is he? I've not looked on social media. Please don't tell me Haaland's out for 6 to 16 weeks. We can't afford that. Anyway, going on. Oh, no. Oh my. Okay, sub 2, thanks for tuning in. What's going on, guys? Much appreciated. Love that one. Anne as well, thanks for tuning in. Says we better had win this one and not concede any. Clean sheet would be a massive bonus. Always helps to win games. And I feel like we're just getting to this little sticky point that we had back in January, February of this year, of last season, where we weren't capable of keeping a clean sheet, and it's putting the team under pressure. I always fancy that Man City are going to score at least one goal. I think it was a bad day at the office, and it was just a fully rotated team for Manchester City, and it's not our normal midfield and our normal players available on Wednesday. So forget about Wednesday. Every game, more than likely, Manchester City score at least a goal, which means if you can keep things tight and keep a clean sheet, sometimes you only have to score one, and it's enough to win the game. And I feel like having a couple of games where we're able to do that would really do Manchester City the world of good, because to me, we need some clean sheets. The defence needs to pick up. The way the defence is going to pick up is through consistency in the selection at the back, and you go from there. A settled back line does wonders for keeping clean sheets as far as I'm concerned. Manchester City fan, much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in. Says performance of City in the last 4 matches was nothing short of trash. I just hope that they put on a better display today. It's in the past. You can't do anything about them results. It's the first half of the season. We get to play these teams again. We can rectify them results. Aston Villa at the Etihad when we face them. Arsenal at Anfield. Arsenal at the Etihad. Liverpool at Anfield. Spurs at their stadium as well. These results can be rectified by Manchester City. But we're in control of what we can do right now, and we've got a big game here against Luton Town. Win this game, go from there, as far as I'm concerned. Adrian says, no Haaland, we may go back to the pre-Haaland footy style. It may just suit Manchester City. I'm not a big fan of people that bash Erling Haaland and say that he doesn't suit Man City's system. He's a wonderful player, and Man City could maybe do a little bit more to try and get Erling Haaland more involved in the game, and you could do more in terms of tweaking your tactics and stuff. But I'm not going to sit here and say that Pep Guardiola needs to tweak his tactics to suit Erling Haaland. Man City won the treble last season. We won our first ever Champions League trophy. Erling Haaland finished top goal scorer in the Premier League as well, so something clearly was very right at Manchester City. Of course, you're never going to have perfect, and things can always be improved on. And with no Erling Haaland today, it'll be really interesting to see how the front line works for City. Are they going to be looking to be more direct? Are they going to be looking to get Julian Alvarez dropping a little bit deeper? Is Julian Alvarez going to have a little bit more freedom? How's it going to work? Really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing that because Luton Town will have prepared for Erling Haaland to be on that pitch. They'll have been preparing for the set pieces, the marking up, the physical battle. Completely different kettle of fish dealing with Julian Alvarez rather than Erling Haaland. Two completely different players with two very different physiques. So really interesting to see how that one does. Abinash, thanks for tuning in, says no Rodri, no party. Thankfully, we do have Rodri available today, which is fantastic. And hopefully now he can stay suspension and injury free for Manchester City. Leslie, thanks for tuning in. Says, we are City, we don't worry. Never. Yeah, we're so early into the season. I know we're 16 games in and we're nearly at the halfway stage. If there was 10 games to go, maybe I'd be more concerned than what I am now. The performances haven't filled me with desire. They haven't filled me with confidence. I'm hoping that the team will be able to demonstrate what they can do here today, and we can just push from there. I think would be the most important thing for City to go and do. Daniel, hello, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Manchester City fan says, Premier League title is out of our grasp. All we can do now is play the rest of the games according to our potential and gather the maximum points. Well, even if we pick up maximum points, our Centurion season can't be replicated by us this season, and we're only 16 games in, which is remarkable. We can finish on a maximum, if we win every game between now and the end of the season, 99 points, which shows you how remarkable them seasons were, that City were hitting high 90s and even into the 100 points on the Centurion season as well. So it shows how difficult it is to achieve that. I think we're probably looking at a points tally very similar to last season, somewhere between 85 and 90 points. But it means if City are to hit them heights, we need to get some results going and get some momentum. You know, I'm talking 9, 10, 11 wins in the Premier League in a row, and the sooner you do it, the better. It puts you under less pressure. You can't keep relying on your form in the second half of the season. You can't keep relying on the business end of the season, and Manchester City needing to go for our last 13 games to win every single one to win the Premier League, because sooner or later you're going to come unstuck, and that is what has happened over a couple of the seasons. So Manchester City, you need to put yourself in a strong position as possible. As I said, big 4 Premier League games coming up between now and New Year. Win them 4 Premier League games, go from there and assess the situation again for them. Thank you very much to John for tuning in as well. Sorry, I do have to dodge and look around my light. Hello, thank you very much, John, for tuning in. Much appreciated. Having a good laugh there about Bournemouth. I like that one. Adrian says, tuning in from Vietnam. Love that. What time is it in Vietnam? Must be getting quite late there now. Wasn't it? What? Is it 8, 9 hours ahead? Or whatever it is. Might be even more. There we go. Abinash, thanks for tuning in, says, when will Haaland stop ghosting when City need him in big games? Well, Erling Haaland's a fantastic player. He scores an abundance of goals, and to me, he very much suits Manchester City in a Premier League game. Erling Haaland has turned up time and time again when we've needed him. He comes in, scores hat-tricks, scores goals. Yes, City can be doing more to get him more involved in the game, but he's a fantastic player at the end of the day who knows where the back of the net is. He single-handedly took Manchester City from a sticky situation against Leipzig last season in the Champions League, last 16, second leg. That's a huge game. Man City have every desire to win the Champions League, and because of Erling Haaland, he made short work of RB Leipzig for Manchester City. And time again, there's lots of important goals that Erling Haaland scores. You know, he's a goal scorer at the end of the day. You put it on the plate for him, he will, 9 times out of 10, put them away. All strikers have patches where they miss easy chances. All strikers have patches where they put the difficult ones away and miss the easy ones. It happens. It's football. Never going to doubt the ability of Erling Haaland when it comes to goal scoring. He is one of the best in the world right now. I'll just make sure I've not missed anybody. I don't want to miss anybody. Just making sure that I have not missed anybody. I don't think that I have. Right, so Daniel says Arsenal dropped points yesterday. They certainly did, which is fantastic news. Says Manchester City have to win today. Arsenal dropping points, capitalise on it. Very important. Some little gains. That's what's very important. Puts Arsenal under tremendous pressure going into, if City can win this game and win our match next week at home against Crystal Palace, you get them games won and the job's done there. It puts them under tremendous pressure going into their match at Anfield. So we'll see from there. Adrian giving me a bit of reassurance, says Pep said the Haaland injury will be monitored day by day. He couldn't give a time on how long before he is back. I was looking at it, it looked very serious, 6 to 16 weeks. Doesn't sound like Man City are too concerned. I think what Man City are wary of is Erling Haaland breaking a bone in his foot, and more and more pressure is being put onto his foot. Eventually it could lead to that, and so he's going to need managing and resting more by Manchester City, because he has kind of been having lots of little niggles. He had them during the international break as well. He's not really had a set period where he's been rested, and Man City want to win the Club World Cup, so they're not going to do it. But I actually think we could, if we wanted to, give Erling Haaland a rest between now and our match against Everton on the 27th of December. You know, that gives him a good 2-3 weeks off to fully heal any of these little niggles and have Erling Haaland good to go. Because, quite frankly, we should be able to cope without Erling Haaland for Luton Town, for Crystal Palace and for the Club World Cup as well. So, we'll see. We'll see what direction Manchester City choose to go in. Adrian says it's now 8:50. Yeah, late. It's getting late there. That's not a bad kick-off time, though, is it? Not too bad of a kick-off time. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. On a Sunday. I mean, probably prefer it to be on a Saturday, but there we go. N, thanks for tuning in. Says, good morning, Jay. Much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in. Dudley as well. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. And John, loving the fact that Bournemouth annihilated Manchester United yesterday at Old Trafford in their own backyard. 3-0. Embarrassing result. Again, it is things we love to see. Rightio, we are not too far from kickoff here. So we are going to go through the teams now. Before I do go through the teams, do make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do leave a thumbs up. We're now just 7 likes away from 50 likes, so any help towards that would be great. Also, don't forget to subscribe as well if you are new around here. Social media links, you can find them in the description and also in the live chat if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And as I said, get in the live chat your score predictions for today, and also don't forget as well to let me know where you are tuning in from around the world. So you've got 3 big Premier League matches taking place today at 2 p.m. GMT. You've got Everton taking on Chelsea, Fulham taking on West Ham. I will keep you up to date with them games, but we are covering Luton Town taking on Manchester City, kicking off in less than 5 minutes' time. Later on today, you do have Spurs taking on Newcastle United at 4:30 p.m. GMT. So your lineups for today, we're going to start with Manchester City's opponents, Luton Town, led by manager Rob Edwards, who's done a tremendous job so far at Luton Town, but they are in the relegation zone. They're 1 point adrift from Everton, with Everton playing at the same time as them. They're 5 points behind Nottingham Forest. They could do with some points here, in particular relying on their home form and how they're playing at Kenilworth Road. So a big game for Luton, and also obviously a big game for Manchester City, sitting in 4th place, 7 points behind Liverpool. And this is the kind of game where I'm saying to you guys, is our ambition to win the Premier League, or do we need to be looking over our shoulder and thinking, what are the rest of the chasing pack doing when it comes to qualification for the Champions League, which has to be obviously the first priority that City will be looking for, which is consistent qualification for the Champions League, and then you start to think about the Premier League and go from there, which I have no doubt that Manchester City will finish in the top 4. I have no doubt that City will turn their form around, and I have no doubt that Manchester City, come May, will be in and around that Premier League title race. But every game matters, every point counts. Dust ourselves down from our last 4 games. They're in the past. Push on from here. So Luton Town lining up with a 3-4-3 formation. They're starting with Thomas Kaminski in goal. It's a back 3 made up of Tedden, Menji, Tom Lockyer, who returns to the starting 11 for Luton, and Amiyari Bell. They have put Alfie Doherty on the right wing back position, with Issa Kabore, of course, not eligible for this game due to him being on loan from Manchester City. You've got Ryan Giles on the left-hand side, starting with Nakamba and Ross Barkley in midfield. And it is a front 3 made up of former Crystal Palace man Andros Townsend, Jacob Brown on the left wing, and Elijah Adebayo starting up top, with Luton led by captain Tom Lockyer. On the bench for Luton, you've got Tim Krul, the backup goalkeeper. You've also got Joe Johnson, Mads Anderson, Albert Sambi, Lukonga, Pelly Ruddock, Mpanzu, Jordan Clark, Tahith Chong, Luke Berry and Carlton Morris. Your Manchester City starting 11 today then. We're starting with Ederson in goal. It looks potentially like Manchester City may have gone with a back four, and if we are going to invert one of them centre-backs into defensive midfield, it looks potentially like it's probably going to be Nathan Ake or Ruben Dias. So I think this looks like a back four. So Kyle Walker on the right-hand side, Josko Gvardiol on the left-hand side. I'd like to see Nathan Ake go on the left-hand side and Gvardiol go into the centre and partner Ruben Dias. We'll see if Man City are experimenting. Lots of things could happen. Dias could push into defensive midfield. Ake could push into defensive midfield. I reckon more than likely Gvardiol could probably play there as well. So interesting to see how that is. It does mean, though, that John Stones does miss out. So it's a midfield three made up of Rodri, Mateo Kovacic and Phil Foden. Bernardo Silva on the right wing, Jack Grealish on the left wing, and Julian Alvarez starts as Manchester City's striker in the absence of Erling Haaland with the foot injury that he has got. City led by captain Kyle Walker. On the bench for Manchester City, two backup goalkeepers, Scott Carson and Stefan Ortega-Moreno. You've also got Manuel Akanji, who makes the bench for Manchester City today, along with Rico Lewis, John Stones, Sergio Gomez, Oscar Bobb, Kalvin Phillips and Matheus Nunes as well. Strong 11 that from Manchester City. I think my score prediction, I'm going to go for a 2-0 solid victory for City today. I'm going for a couple of goals, both for Julian Alvarez is what I'm going for Manchester City today. City, I think, are going to look to try and dominate the possession, dominate the play here, try and keep things nice and tight, nice and compact. Don't try and look like they're going to concede. Have control of the game and hopefully be clinical in front of goal. City do need to be wary of the set play for Luton. As I said, they are a very physical side and they will be all over that. And Ross Barkley, I think, key in midfield for Luton today. Had a sensational game against Arsenal. Manchester City do need to be wary of that one. N says 5:50 p.m. it is in Vietnam. He says it's not even 6 a.m. yet in Los Angeles, so I presume N tuning in from Los Angeles. JSGC expanding right from Los Angeles, right in the City of Angels in LA, right across the Pacific to Vietnam, and we're obviously tuning in from the United Kingdom in Europe as well, so very much international JSGC. Me gusta. I do like it. John says Luton down 1, champions of everything 5. So he reckons Luton 1, Manchester City 5 today. Marius, thanks for tuning in. Reckons it's going to be Ake pushing into defensive midfield. He wants City to get back to winning ways. He reckons Alvarez potentially could be dropping a little bit deeper and playing that false 9. Potentially for Man City to completely dominate the midfield. Could be. It's something we have seen before from Pep Guardiola pre-Erling Haaland. It's not something we've really seen since Erling Haaland arrival, but he's not available for Manchester City, so we will see. Teddy, thanks for tuning in, going for a 2-0 victory today for Manchester City. N says he thinks that if Haaland is out, it forces the team to be more disciplined instead of having the safety net of Erling there. He reckons it's going to help Manchester City and a comfortable 4-0 victory. I do hope you're right. I would love a 4-0 victory today for Manchester City. N says the bench sounding pretty weak. We don't have the depth. We keep going with a stretched, smaller squad. It's smaller this year than it was last year. There's talk of Kalvin Phillips leaving, so our bench will get even weaker by the time January's done. I think it's about time Man City did something we don't often do, and that's dip into the market before it's too late and Manchester City do have control of their squad, because otherwise player fatigue going into the second half of the season is more energy drain, and you run the risk of serious injury and players playing through injury, competing for titles and stuff. So we will see. Julia, thanks so much for tuning in, much appreciated. Dad going for a 3-1 victory for Manchester City today. Love that one. As we're now just 4 likes away from 50 likes. Can we hit 50 likes before we have kickoff, which is going to be happening very soon? 50 likes is the aim. Can we get there? As we are ready and set for kickoff here. And we do have kickoff. And Manchester City already looking to try and come forward. City attacking from right to left. Luton attacking from left to right. Luton playing in their tangerine orange coloured shirts, black shorts and orange socks. Manchester City today playing in their white shirts, maroon shorts and white socks. I'm going 2-0 Manchester City. And here's Mateo Kovacic coming forward already for Manchester City. Here's Jack Grealish centralising himself. Very interesting that he's moving himself more into the centre as Ruben Dias takes control of the ball. Gives it back to Mateo Kovacic once more. And Manchester City already got every player near enough camped into the Luton half. Here is Kovacic now. Here's Bernardo to Rodri. Kovacic works it to Ruben Dias. A lot of pressing coming in from Luton to no avail, and it's been 1 minute of Man City dominating the ball. And that's a good ball into the channel. Julian Alvarez does so well, and Phil Foden releasing. He's got Bernardo Silva ahead of him. Bernardo could choose to play Phil in again. He can. Here's Foden. Early chance, City. Foden! Good save. And volley. Oh, the follow-up from Bernardo is wide. What an opportunity. Bernardo just slices it and it goes wide. It's lovely crafted stuff. Brilliant combination of Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva. Perfectly onside there from Foden. The ball was slightly beyond Phil. Test the hands of the keeper, and already City have a couple of shots. We're doing more now in 2 minutes than what we did for the whole of the match against Aston Villa at Villa Park on Wednesday. And desperately unlucky that from Bernardo Silva. Desperately unlucky. Really good save from Kaminski in goal for Luton. And Luton managed to get a foot onto that, but that'll go out of play for a goal kick to Manchester City. So just to put into context, Manchester City are attacking the home end in the first half, and the second half will be attacking where the away end is. Very unique ground, Kenilworth Road. Built into its surroundings and suburbs, just like a lot of clubs are in London and the surrounding areas, which is where you find Luton. It's around, I think, around an hour or so's drive from London. Man City wanted the advantage then. The referee just blew and gave a free kick. At least the referee didn't play the advantage, stop, and then blow for a free kick when City could have had an advantage. But referee definitely could have played the advantage there, chooses not to. So it looks like Bernardo Silva's gone into a more central areas. That's good pressing there from Luton Town. Won back by Adebayo, and Luton can have their first spell of the game 3 minutes in here at Kenilworth Road. It's Luton Town 0, Manchester City 0. Cayman Joe, thanks for tuning in, says, can I please tell his girlfriend? I don't know who your girlfriend is, but she's tuning in. There you go. Cayman Joe, love you very much. You're like a matchmaker. It's a nice message. Nice to see. I think we all need a little bit more kindness and love in the world. So that's a nice message. Nice to see. Sorry if you see my head bobbing in. I've just got my chat covered. Cayman Joe, you're more than welcome. Abanash says, if you are given a choice between KDB and Rodri to stay at City, who would I choose? Well, I love both of them. They're both brilliant players. That's a great, great term from Ederson. I think I'll let age decide my answer here, and I'd probably go with, if you used to say, oh, one of the two's going to leave in the summer. Neither of them are going to leave, but if you say I get to keep one and one has to go, it'd probably be Kevin De Bruyne. A little bit more injury prone than Rodri. Kevin De Bruyne now into his 30s. Rodri's younger. Rodri's pivotal to Manchester City's midfield. So I'd probably go with Rodri, but I think Kevin De Bruyne is just one of them players. He's like Kun Aguero. He's just impossible to replace. As Pep says, you can't replace a player like Aguero, well, you can't replace a player like Kevin De Bruyne either. You can't replace a Rodri either. So, there we go. That'll be mine. Mixed, thanks for tuning in, and I have seen your message, I've just not got round to replying to it yet. But yeah, happy to see you've made it back. Much appreciated for tuning in as well. So we're 5 minutes in, 0-0 here at the Mo. Manchester City have dominated the ball. We've had one good chance already, not put away. So it is 0-0 here at the Mo. Cayman Joe tuning in from Thailand. Bangkok. So we've got Vietnam, we've got Thailand, we've got the City of Angels, we've got UK. Love it. Ball drilled across well by Manchester City. Cleared by Luton Town at the near post. Throw into City though. That's a great ball played into the channel. Here's Jackie G. Twisting, turning. Can't find the ball across. Just works it back to Josko instead. Lots of interacting plays here by City. Lots of balls being played into the channel. Lots of one-touch movements from Manchester City. It's quick play. It's good play. They've only been playing 6 minutes, but I'll tell you right now, the amount of effort that's gone into Luton Town's press and trying to get the ball back and chasing shadows is tiring. And Luton Town just stopped play. Menji's gone down. He's going to get some treatment from the physio. He looks in a lot of pain, you know. I do hope he's okay. He looks in a heap of pain there. Get a replay. What happened? He just challenged Jack Grealish, and I think he's just landed very awkwardly on Jack Grealish and just maybe twisted his knee or something. Might be his hamstring that he's feeling. I'm not too sure. See, damage that can happen when you go in for a challenge and you get wrapped up in each other's legs. And you go down with any kind of impact, it can cause quite a serious injury. Mixon said it'll keep me posted about the other thing. Me gusta. Anyway, we're on to 50 likes. It means we're halfway to our goal of 100 likes. So any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe if you're new around here. As it's starting to run again now. It's good to see. So Menji should get back onto the pitch. And I said you can land really awkwardly. It can cause all kinds of problems. A dislocation, a tear or a pull on the thigh can cause knee problems. Yeah, I can sympathise. I've had a knee injury this year. As Luton just knocking the ball around pretty nicely at now. Just taking them 8 minutes, but they're settled into the game. Needs to get it clear though. Just trying to work their way out of trouble. And they do so well. Lovely show of strength. Lovely play from Luton Town, just working it around Manchester City. They go with the long ball forward now. There's way too much on that, and it goes out of play for a throw into Manchester City. It's the right idea. They were obviously in all kinds of problems, Luton Town, there, if they were going to continue to knock it around, 30, 40 yards away from their own goal against the Premier League champions. I can suggest there's a time and place, but that's a brilliant ball from Nathan Ake. But Luton Town obviously got the confidence that they can go and do that. I've been asked, which team would I like to not face in the Champions League? Probably Real Madrid. We're not going to face Real Madrid in the last 16, though. It gets to the quarterfinals onwards, you're going to be coming up against the very best in Europe, aren't you? You're going to come up against the likes of Bayern and Real and Manchester City. I'm going to put in there as one of the best teams in Europe as well, because, you know, current holders, we are one of the best teams in Europe, despite the meltdown that's been happening on social media. We do remain a very good team. I've only just noticed that there's a different style that the players use with their shorts. Julian Alvarez pulls his shorts right up, so his shorts look shorter than everybody else's. Rodri, for example, Must have him right by his waist because they're right down by his knee, and he's a big lad, Rodri. And Julian Alvarez has got plenty of leg on show. A fashion statement. Good defending that from Manchester City. I think it's gone out for a corner though to Luton Town, which means there is some defending to do here for City. Adebayo causing problems for Manchester City 11 minutes in. Manchester City... Oh, sorry, it's gone out for a throw-in, not a corner. Looked like it went out for a corner from that angle. I can't believe there's some nutters in that away end that have not got a coat on. I know it's warmed up a little bit in the UK and it's got to 7 or 8 degrees Celsius, but it's been very windy and wet and it's just miserable how people are out wearing just a t-shirt. Nutters, I tell you. Nutters. That's not a great header from Manchester City. It was the right idea. There was a lady in the crowd there that was doing the Pep Guardiola hand gestures, stood up with a one-on-one, got to move, then she... Love it. Absolutely love it. Anyway, Luton just throw it up, Manchester City head it back out of play for another throw into Luton. They go backwards this time. Here's Lockyer, captain for Luton today, just works it back to the keeper. He's going to send this long. Josko Gvardiol should be dealing with that. He lets it go over his head. It is eventually going to go out of play. It looked like it weren't going to go out of play and very nearly didn't. In the end, Manchester City are going to have a throw-in near their own penalty area as Rob Edwards, manager for Luton, dishes out some instructions there for his players. Josko Gvardiol just bursts forward here. He's got nowhere to go. He gets a shove in the back and that'll be a free kick for Manchester City and just takes the pressure away from our own penalty area and we can just look to try and get possession going once more here and go from there. As we're now 45 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be great. So Josko Gvardiol just stood over this. Menji's getting a talking to from the referee. He's called over the captain, Lockyer as well. Jack Grealish goes over. Not too sure what it's got to do with him, but there we go. Abadish says he reckons PSG have a better chance than Bayern, to be honest. That's if PSG make it to the last 16. They've got to get there first. And they've not really looked that impressive in their group stage, I don't think. Lost Neymar in the summer. I don't fear PSG. Gary, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Rodri just knocks it round. City look for Alvarez dropping deeper. Ball given away. Luton knock 2 passes together, but they can't get control of the ball. Just looking to try and rush their play. And Kyle Walker, sloppy, gives the ball away. And that'll be a free kick, surely. Referee says no, play on. Luton Town continue to have the ball. Fans booing the referee. They wanted a free kick there, which to me tells you a lot about Luton's approach today. They've got the ball, they've got the possession. No harm done off the referee not giving the free kick. They'd have preferred the free kick because they want the set pieces. They want them balled into the box. That's the danger. No needless free kicks like that conceded by Rodri now. Means Luton Town are going to stack that penalty area and they're going to put a ball into the box. They are very good in the air. They've got a massive aerial presence. And we all know that Manchester City's set-piece defending can at times be a bit sceptical. I think Man City's defending as a whole can be a bit sceptical at times. So defenders need to be on it as the rain's really starting to come down in Luton. So it's Doherty, normally plays on the left, playing on the right today. He's going to put a ball into the box. Big men are forward. Cross comes in. Josko Gvardiol does well, gets a head onto that. And out of play for a throw-in to Luton Town. It was a deep ball that was sent in. Dealt with well by Josko. I think it'll do Josko the world of good today for him to put in a good solid performance. The same with Mateo Kovacic, our 2 Croatian players that we brought in the summer. Here's Andros Townsend. Just works the ball back to Monji. Here's Ross Barkley now. I think he got man of the match against Arsenal in midweek. Put under pressure. Works the ball nicely to the left-hand side. And a bit of possession here for Luton and inside the Manchester City half as well. City plead for the offside flag there. Doesn't come. Luton continue with the ball. Just working it backwards now though. Allows City just to get that front line forward. And 16 minutes in here at Kenilworth Road, 0-0. Manchester City created a couple of early opportunities, but from there, Luton Town have grown into the game. They're growing in confidence. They're threading passes together. Man City haven't really created too much, and the game's got a bit scrappy. There's a free kick given to Manchester City. Gary says doing better than what we did yesterday, and match against Bayern midweek as well. It'd be very Man United to beat Bayern, wouldn't it? It really would. Lose to Bournemouth, beat Bayern. Bayern will be rotating players as well. As Jack Grealish into a great position here, just looks to try and dink a ball towards Bernardo. Defended well by Luton. There's a lot of teething problems at Manchester United at the moment. Here's Foden. Drops a shoulder nicely. Drives into the penalty area. He's got a bit of support. Gvardiol, go first time. He should have gone first time. He's nearly got dispossessed. It'll be a throw into Manchester City. I just feel like Josko could have gone first time. Luton fans pleading for a foul throw there, not given by the referee, and Rodri goes towards the byline, twists, turns in towards Gvardiol, to the byline, drills one across, and it's a good ball that across. There was nobody there. And Luton defend that and get it clear. Alvarez just couldn't find Bernardo. He's got a second bite at it though. Does find Bernardo this time. Alvarez just lays it off to Kyle Walker on the right. Bernardo wants it. Bernardo receives. Bernardo doesn't put a ball in. Goes for a Rodri Rocket. Rodri Rocket! Oh, it's a great save. It's a good effort. Really good effort from Rodri, and it's just as good a save. A one-handed save. I think he goes with his left hand. Desperately unlucky. Here's Bernardo. Works it to Jack Grealish. And nearly threaded through by Manchester City. Defended well by Luton. They're chasing everything, Luton. Can they keep this up for 90 minutes? That's the question. Can they keep it up? Ake plays it into the channel. Foden works it back to Kovacic and back to Nathan Ake. He goes with one pass forward. Oh, that's a lovely turn from Josko Gvardiol. Bernardo Silva back to Gvardiol. Gvardiol gets forward into the penalty area once more. He can't sort his feet out. Bernardo nearly left the ball behind him there. Has to turn. Instead, gets it back onto his left foot. Works it into the area. And somehow, Luton have come away with the ball. Although Bernardo Silva does really well. Wins the ball back here for Manchester City. Here's Mateo Kovacic. Put a ball into the box. It's the problem we've got with no Haaland. There's no physical presence in that penalty area, so crosses can't just come in. It's going to have to be drilled because Luton's defenders are far bigger than what the Manchester City attackers are, so you're not going to win any aerial duels with them. You know, 5'9", Julian Alvarez isn't quite 6'4", Erling Haaland, but the low centre of gravity and the little flicks of play can cause a lot of problems. And has caused a few problems. This guy replay that Rodri effort. It's a cracking save. Such a good save. Yeah, he goes with his left hand. He doesn't just make the save. He makes a save and tips it away from the danger zone as well. Composes himself. Good goalkeeping that. So Gary says, the fact that we're starting Maguire and Martial says it's all. Not great. Not great. There's a lot of dead wood that needs sorting out. There's been a lot of wasted money on certain players in certain areas at Manchester United. There's a lot wrong at the club. Stems right from the top, right through. And I think they're very far away from where they want to be. I don't mind opposition fans tuning in, as long as fans come in and just have a nice football conversation, not just here just to wind everybody up, even though it can be entertaining with the wind-up, but people coming in having civil, good footballing discussions, then more than welcome on my channel. More than welcome. That's a great ball. Gvardiol is getting forward a lot here in the first half. Can he get himself a goal? He has a shot and that's deflecting. That's a corner. Josko Gvardiol, first goal scorer maybe. He is getting into some positions. It's Gvardiol that's pushing forward for City at the mo. Are we trying something new? Nathan Ake's hanging back, so it's a back three made up of Walker, Dias and Ake. And Gvardiol's been given more freedom to get forward. Maybe that might just suit Josko. Julian Alvarez comes over then to take the corner here for Manchester City. Chance to get the likes of Dias and Rodri forward now. Just goes short. Bernardo Silva doesn't beat the first man. I don't really get what that set piece was. That's another good ball, dealt with well by Luton. They're a good defensive team. And City working really hard. And Gary... I think United are going to beat Bayern. I do. I really do. I think all the rotation that Bayern are going to put in place... we're going back to what I was speaking about before, the inconsistencies. It's very Manchester United to beat Bayern Munich after losing to Bournemouth. It just sounds like something that would happen, doesn't it? Equally wouldn't surprise you if Bayern went and won 4-0. As the first goal in the Premier League has gone in, and Fulham continuing their good form at home. Raul Jimenez giving them the lead against West Ham. Remains 0-0 here. Gary, thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. I'm sure Mixie will be very appreciative of that comment as well. Cayman Joe says, used to watch Manchester City playing at Main Road as a kid and playing teams like Wrexham in the second division. Had the pleasure of seeing Main Road with my own eyes before it went, because I started supporting City back in 2002 and we moved out of Main Road in 2003. And my first ever City top was bought in the club shop at Main Road as well. I try to think of my best example of teams that we were facing back then. Nothing really springs to mind. It's more the players that spring to mind, like Ali Bernarbi and Darren Huckabee. Like gods. Hookers. Sean Goater, of course. Feed the goats and he will score. I think Sean Goater's here today, actually. He does a lot of work with Manchester City, doesn't he? And so does Paul Dickoff. I always like Nicky Weaver in goal as well. Long ball played forward here by Luton. And that's a lovely touch from Josko Gvardiol. You know what? I know we're only 25 minutes in, but Josko Gvardiol, he's having a very good game, I think. And him pushing forward on the left means Jack Grealish could drop more into midfield. Here is Kyle Walker and he's offside. Line goes up. Abinish says, Arsenal fans dreaming to win the UEFA Champions League. I've seen a lot of their fans speaking about the Champions League, and for a team who's got, over the last few seasons, very little experience in the Champions League, don't really have any right to be speaking about themselves as favourites. You get found out in the Champions League It's such a difficult competition to win. Such a difficult competition to win. I don't see Arsenal knocking out a Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich. I just don't see it. As Ruben Dias now getting forward, gives it to Bernardo Silva. On the right-hand side, he has to turn again. He's got no real support, so he has to go all the way back to Rodri, and we've gone from being right on the byline inside the penalty area to being 40 yards out from goal. But that will be a free kick to Manchester City. Makamba brings down Mateo Kovacic. So a free kick for City. Gary did. Sean Goater loved the goal against United. In fact, City had a pretty good record when I was growing up against United pre-takeover. Used to always raise our game. Foden! Shot! Great save! The keeper's 3 now. 3 cracking saves he's pulled off. Foden gets onto his left foot. Nice clean strike. 20 yards out. Great save from the keeper. Gathers it up. It's a greasy surface. The ball's wet. He does so well to get it under his arm and catch it, and just casually catches it like it's nothing. Takes a real awkward bounce right in front of the keeper as well. Joseph saying Jack's too slow, thinks we need new players. I wonder if it's an interesting point, because I wonder if Manchester City may be tempted. Probably not in January, because there's just never that much serious business done in January. But I wonder in the summer if Manchester City may look towards the transfer market and look towards being ruthless when it comes to player sales. I don't for one moment think that Jack Grealish will leave Manchester City. But if City don't win the Premier League, for example, I think Man City will have to be ruthless about their squad. That's gone out of play. It's going to be a throw in Manchester City. Abadash reckons PSG winning 5 before Arsenal are winning 1. For the Champions League, you need the experience. It's such a difficult competition to win. The players, you need that experience. It took City forever to be able to win the Champions League, and that's all come about through experience. It makes you a better team. You don't just turn up in the Champions League and win it like it's nothing. It just doesn't happen. That's a great ball. And Julian Alvarez misses. Just taps it wide. Good exchange of play. It was good work from Jack Grealish. I think he might have been offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. Lovely run into the channel. What a great pass through the legs, and Alvarez just flicks it. And Kyle Walker, I think, made a run at the back post. He'd have had a tap in if Alvarez managed to look up, but he just goes for the quick play, looking for the near post. Goes wide, doesn't work. 29 minutes in, 0-0 here. As we're now on to 60 likes, just 40 likes to go to 100 likes. So let's get them likes up, guys. That would be fantastic. Luton again, Luton I think getting a little bit weary. So they're not doing these tippy-tappy passes around. They're going more for the long ball. It's disrupting their play, and it's a dangerous game that by Giles against Bernardo Silva, and Giles does really well to recover himself and get the ball clear. Again, though, it's a long ball forward. It's another wave, another attack from Manchester City. It's really good, dominating football. We just need that goal. Gvardiol finds Foden. It's not a good pass from Foden and gives the ball away. And Luton can have a bit of a reprieve, although Julian Alvarez is chasing that down like a man possessed. Wants a throw-in, doesn't get it. Or does he get it? He does get it. Linesman gives it to Manchester City. Luton not very happy about that. As we get a look at the City fans in the away end. As I was speaking about before, Kenilworth Road. It's a very old-fashioned away end. There's a foul throw given against Josko Gvardiol. They wanted one before and it weren't given. This time it has. Yeah, very unique away end. So London and its surrounding areas build their stadiums in to suit the surroundings. So it's a lot of terraced housing round at the back of Kenilworth Road. There's alleyways and things. And as you go into the away end, you have to go in through a terraced housing. You go up some stairs. You can overlook a few people's back gardens. And it's very unique as another goal goes in at Craven Cottage. Looks like the more entertaining game there. Willian has doubled Fulham's lead against West Ham, and as I said, Fulham continuing with their good form, and that's going to be a throw-in against Luton Town. Manchester City can come forward here. Abidash asks, question, who will get first? Real Madrid to 20 or Arsenal to 1? It depends how I said the Arsenal need the experience. They've got to be looking for progress. They never seem to make it past the last 16. So if they get to a quarter final, for example, this year, that's a successful Champions League season for them. And then they need to continue to build on that, qualify again for the Champions League, see if they can get another quarter-final or a semi-final appearance. And that's how you build up your reputation. You build up your ratings in the Champions League. You get used to playing on a regular basis, season upon season, playing the biggest and best teams. You pull off a good scout, you pull off a big result or two, and all of a sudden then you find yourself stronger, you take more confidence away, and you live and learn, basically. We found that out losing the Champions League final against Chelsea. It hurts. You know, we pushed on, we learnt from it. 2 years later, we lift the trophy learning them lessons. I reckon probably Real Madrid will get into 20. And Foden drives to the line, and it's good goalkeeping. That's 4 times I've said that now. 4 times. Really good goalkeeping. You know what? Tim Krul's a decent goalkeeper. Being kept out the side by Thomas Kaminski. He is a quality goalkeeper. Quality. And Luton, it breaks nicely. Shot! And saved. Andros Townsend. He likes a worldie against us, doesn't he? He had 1 or 2 when he played for Palace. Goes for it again. It was swerving. Test the hands of Ederson. Getting all 4 seasons in one. We've had a bit of snow, a bit of rain, and a bit of sunshine now at Kenilworth Road. All in the space of a couple of minutes. Here's Alvarez. Threads a pass towards Grealish. Intercepted well. Luton work it to their right-hand side and they push themselves forward. So Manchester City got some defending to do, and Josko Gvardiol does just enough. And super impressed with Gvardiol so far. Really am pleased for him. That he's, everyone's been speaking about him. Words have been said. People have been saying that he's a £70 million flop. They don't see what he offers to Manchester City. He's a poor man's Nathan Ake. He hasn't improved Manchester City. I don't think his role at City's been right for him. In a new role today, a bit more advanced freedom for him. And it suits him. He's getting forward into some nice areas. He's good with his distribution. He's good with his ball control. He's very much a Manchester City Pep Guardiola player, as far as I'm concerned. It's giving Grealish more freedom to try and create in the middle. We've already seen a couple of opportunities. As I said, it's been a good dominating performance, this from City first 34 minutes. We just need that opening goal. We get that opening goal, I would say this has been a very good first half from Manchester City. We haven't looked like conceding. We have looked like scoring. We get that goal. We're where we want to be. And Luton Town managed to get the ball back off Manchester City. They just go back to the keeper. He's going to have to send it long. And again, it's going to come back. Josko Gvardiol wins the header. Rodri wins that second ball. Bernardo Silva, it's a great pass. Rodri Rocket just threads a pass through. Grealish. Oh, it's a good block. And out of play for a throw into Manchester City. Gary says, I rate Grealish highly, but I think the money he moved for was very flattering. He's not a £100 million player. I remember when we signed him, I said he's not a £100 million player. We just had £100 million to spend that summer and bringing in a winger. We had the money. We were going to make it happen. We weren't going to sign Harry Kane, so we signed Jack Grealish instead. Never ever is he a £100 million player. Never ever. English tax. But he has helped Manchester City to win a treble. He was so important for us second half of the season. Oh, it's great from Foden. Here's Jack Grealish. Kyle Walker's forward. Kyle Walker's playing centre forward right now. What a back heel from Grealish. Foden drills it across. Where's Kyle Walker? Grealish has a shot. And Kovacic puts it over the top of the crossbar. Julia, I think spot on the money there. So it's more coercive from Manchester City today. It's more controlled. With the way City are playing, I don't doubt that at some point Manchester City will score, and we've not looked like conceding, which is the positives. You do get the feeling that if City can break down Luton's defence and find that opening goal, we could, because we are capable, go on and end up scoring 2 or 3. That's where the danger is for Luton. They'll want to stay in this game. Man City have had a lot of problems through not killing teams off. It's why we didn't beat Chelsea. It's why we didn't beat Liverpool. It's why we didn't beat Tottenham. Led in all them games. Adrian, you spot on that. We're going back to what I was saying about Arsenal. You need to learn them lessons. Man City blew it. We bottled it against Real Madrid in 2022. It hurt. It hurt so much. But we used that as motivation to go on and completely rip Real Madrid to shreds at home last season. That gives you the confidence. I don't fear facing Real Madrid. Then results against Bayern Munich and Real Madrid last season, I think, put Manchester City on the European pedestal. Then results were statement wins to everybody else. To say, we're not scared and we're here to stay. Here's Andros Townsend for Luton now, coming forward. Dispossessed Josko Gvardiol. Tries to put a ball into the box. Defended well by Gvardiol. Townsend still finds his pass. Into the penalty area here, squared across, and that's good defending. Good covering that from Nathan Ake, and Gvardiol. So cool under pressure, just gives it to Nathan Ake. He'll whack this one clear for Manchester City. He's happy to give away possession to allow the defensive line just to push out. And they get everyone out of the penalty area now, and Luton can have possession. At least it's not in our penalty area though. Instead, it's on the left wing. Work to Ross Barkley in the centre. Got Monji for company. He's not going to use him, I don't think. He just wants to get forward, create and do things. I like Ross Barkley. He's a good player into the penalty area. Adebayo. To Giles. There is Ross Barkley once more. Manji just works it out to the right hand side. Here is Andros Townsend now. Got Jack Grealish for company, goes with his right foot, ball into the box, and that's way too close to the keeper. And Ederson will collect that one for Manchester City. Right, guys, let's get them likes up. We're on to 63 likes, which is a fantastic effort. We are just 37 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Here is Bernardo Silva coming forward for Manchester City. Gives it to Jack Grealish into the penalty area now. Works it to Kovacic on the edge of the penalty area and just works across to the right-hand side now. Here's Kyle Walker. Finds Rodri. Work to Josko Gvardiol. Thought he might have been tempted to have had a shot then. He doesn't. Gives it to Grealish instead. Gvardiol doesn't go first time, so City just continue to work this across. Here's Nathan Ake now, playing in a more central area at the mo. Worked back to Gvardiol on the left. Here's Jack Grealish. Oh, that's a lovely pass. Foden. Worked to the edge of the penalty area. Kyle Walker. Oh my word. Well over the top that. He really has ballooned it. Got his foot right under that. High and wide. Not Kyle's best of efforts. Into the stands. It remains 0-0 here. between Luton Town and Manchester City. And I said I've been more encouraged by Manchester City. We played much better today. But at the end of the day, football is a sport that's based on results. And at the moment, it is 0-0. And if this match goes on into the second half and continues at 0-0, I think the frustrations and the anxiety will kick in for Manchester City. And I think that's what Luton will be really banking on here. Patient play, keep it tight, frustrate Manchester City, frustrate us into a mistake, and capitalise. That's what they do. Luton are more than capable of doing that. More than capable. Luton Town with 3 shots to Manchester City's 10. As another goal has gone in at Craven Cottage, and it's former Manchester City man Toshin Adebayo. 41 minutes in there. Game, set and match. Fulham 3-0 up against West Ham. Here is Eddie in goal for City today. Gives the ball to Ruben Dias. He's got Rodri now. To Kovacic. Lovely drop of the shoulder. Nearly. He's got the interception actually there for Luton, and that'll be a throw into Luton Town as well. Good work from Luton. I'm really impressed with Luton's work rate. Their hunger, desire and work rate is second to none. You can't fault them. They try. Workhorses. I'm telling you, they keep it up for 38 games. I think they stay in the Premier League. I really do. Here's Nathan Ake. Gives it to Rodri. That's a lovely pinged effort to Kyle Walker. It's a heavier touch from Kyle, and it just allows the interception to come in. It's Giles, works it now to Ross Barkley. That's a lovely interception from Rodri for Manchester City. What a player he is. What a player. Here's Phil Foden now. What a lovely ball. Alvarez. He's got Bernardo Silva. He points to where he wants it. He's not getting it from Julian Alvarez. He works it to Jack Grealish instead, under pressure. And look at that, Luton. They've got near enough every man back within the space of 10, 15 seconds. And Jack Grealish, it's going to take something special to unlock this Luton defence. Either that or a mistake. Here's Bernardo Silva. Works to Gvardiol. Looking for a corner, and he's going to get one. He's given a goal kick. There's ironic cheers from the crowd behind. They think it was a goal kick. There's never a goal kick, that for me. I feel like referees just backing down to pressure from the fans. Keep moaning about foul throws and locations of the throw-in. Putting the referee under pressure after that looked, for me, like it were a corner. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. It just didn't look like it came off Josko. So goal kick here for Luton. We've got a minute plus whatever's to be added on. There's been one injury, which the physio dealt with early on to Monji. Nothing else since. Been a few throw-ins and a couple of set pieces. Struggling to see how they're going to add on anything more than a minute or two, if I'm honest. It's not been that much wasted time here. Ball has been quite active, as it normally is involving Manchester City. There isn't often stop-start games involving us. Here is Rodri then to Kovacic. Work back to Ederson. It looked like he was tempted to just launch that ball then. He doesn't. And he does now. How good's the launch? Oh, it's good covering defending from Lockyer. Really good covering defending. Heads it out. And it's another foul throw. That's 2 foul throws for Manchester City. It could have been 3. Ill-disciplined on the throw-ins. What was wrong with the throw-in? I don't think there was too much wrong with that throw-in, to be honest. I don't know. I don't think this referee's been very good, to be honest, for either side. 2 minutes then it is that's been added on. Jack Grealish works it to Phil Foden. Maybe time for one more chance. A good time to score this as well right before half-time. Just changes the dynamic of the team talks for both sides. Kovacic gives it to Rodri. He's got the run of Kyle Walker. Julian Alvarez gets in the way, and it's poor touch, not a great pass, whichever way you want to look at it. Luton just, it's good play. Good play. Ball gets left behind. Still manages to find the pass though to Adebayo. Nathan Ake for company. He's going to have to play this one backwards, yeah. Ball gets played into the channel. And ball spins up, and that'll go straight into the hands of Ederson. Good defending from Manchester City. Sensible defending. Is Luton once more coming forward. Andros Townsend. Great block from Josko Gvardiol. They're appealing for anything and everything. I get why. He appealed for handball. It quite clearly came off the leg of Gvardiol. Anyway, 30 seconds remaining. Luton have got hold of the ball, and they'll be thinking to themselves, keep hold of this ball. It's going to stay 0-0. They're going to launch it. I don't think this is the right thing to do. Header won by Manchester City. And they get away with it. It falls to a Luton player, because that could easily have just given the ball back to Manchester City there, and a bit of pressing going on Ross Barkley, and Ross Barkley does so well. So well. Here's Doherty now getting forward. He's got Andros Townsend for company. Ball comes in. It's a deep ball. Header 1-0 Luton. There is a goal right before half-time, and it's for Luton Town. And it's Adebayo with a cracking header at the far post. Heads it past Ederson. Crowd go crazy. City's problems mount up. It's not been a bad half of football from Manchester City. But Luton Town stick to it so well. Execute a great game plan. It's Ross Barkley that makes that goal. It's a great ball into the box. Put the ball into the right area. It's just too strong for Ruben Dias. It's a great header. It's 1-0 Luton. Shit. How to summarise Manchester City's season in one half. And there's half-time whistle. City have been the better side. They've created more opportunities. They've looked pretty solid at the back. Things are kicking off now between the bench. City having a right go at the fourth official. I'm not sure what they're moaning about. Let me have a listen. I think Man City might be upset about a foul throw that's led to the Luton Town getting the possession. I'm not sure what Pep's unhappy about. I don't know. Goals given, so... we're going to have to be more clinical in that second half. I said it's not been a bad half of football for Manchester City. I'll just go through the stats for the game. It's not been a bad half of football for Manchester City. Stats, I'm sure, are going to back me up when I say that. Let's go have a look, see if they can work out what they were moaning about. So Luton's 30% possession, 2 shots, 2 on target with the 1 goal. For Manchester City, 70% possession, 10 shots, 3 on target. As I said, they've not been clinical enough. There's been opportunities. They've just not put their opportunities away. That's why we find ourselves in this situation again. 1 good bit of play, 1 good ball into the box, 1 good header, and all your hard work gets undone. That's exactly what's happened. We've been here, seen it before. We know what we need to do. We need to be better in that second half. I don't think now's the time to be losing the plot. Now's the time for Manchester City to remain focused rather than looking for excuses. I don't like excuses. I want Manchester City to take responsibility of the situation. We're the Premier League champions. We know what it takes to win the Premier League. We know what it takes to come from behind. Need to apply ourselves. I'm not too concerned about going behind. I always judge upon how you respond to the situation. The situation's been presented to Manchester City, so it's up to Manchester City to deal with that. As I said, ball play's not been too bad for City. Other than that one opportunity created right at the end, it's been a good defensive display as far as I'm concerned, but it's these fine moments, these individual moments, where I just feel like Ruben Dias needs to be a bit stronger. Adebayo looked like he wanted that more than Manchester City. It's a disappointing piece of defending. And the second half becomes very difficult for Manchester City. Do I see any changes coming in? Where are the changes going to be, though? It's difficult because I don't want to sit here and react to a scoreline, because that's, at the end of the day, what it is. If we look at the stats, you look at how Man City have played, it's not been a bad half of football. It really hasn't. Other than not putting the ball into the back of the net, everything else from Manchester City, I think, has been absolutely fine in this match. Dare I suggest does City just stick with the game plan? 10 shots, 3 on target's not a good return. You put one of your opportunities away, you owe back in the game. Grab a goal first 5-10 minutes of the second half, and the damage is undone as far as I'm concerned. I mean, just looking at the bench, there's no real attacking presence. Oscar Bobb. I mean, it speaks volume to me that Man City's attacking reliance is from the bench. What can be changed is Oscar Bobb. I think Oscar Bobb's a high quality young player. I'm hoping he's going to be starting against Red Star in midweek. Really showcase what he can do. He's a really exciting prospect, but he's very inexperienced. He's 18 years old. I don't have the expectation that an 18-year-old comes into the Manchester City team and I expect him to change a game up from a difficult situation. That's something I'd expect from the more senior players of the squad, and there's no real attacking threat for Manchester City on the bench. Matheus Nunes, maybe? I don't know. I do not know. I love that from JDT. So, commentator's curse. Love the fact that just before Luton scored, you said that they were making a mistake by not just holding on to it. You take them risks in football. It's a 50-50. Luton Town could hoof that ball up, they lose possession, and Man City go on to score from it. And I would criticise Luton for doing that. It's a risk, and they took that risk. And it paid off. Fair credit to Luton. Fair credit to them. They're doing exactly what they need to do. And as I said, to keep this up for 38 games, they will stay in the Premier League. I said it was a difficult game to play this for City. They've taken points off Liverpool at Kenilworth Road. They should have taken a point off Arsenal. If Man City are to win this game, we will have been through the wars. I'll guarantee you of that. It's not an easy place to come to. Really isn't. Getting further analysis, it makes a lovely, lovely bit of play. Ross Barkley sells Bernardo Silva and just strokes past Rodri. Really isn't an easy thing to do. I'm just wondering what Pep's upset about from that goal. What is he upset about? I don't get it. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with the goal. I don't get what the moan is, if I'm honest. It's a great ball from Townsend. It's a great header from Adebayo. I don't know. I do not know. Right, very quickly I'll go through the scores at half-time. Everton 0-0 against Chelsea. Fulham 3-0 up at half-time against West Ham. Luton 1-0 up, and plenty for Man City to ponder in the second half. Full-time result from Scotland. Kilmarnock 2, Celtic 1. as well. Anyway, I do have some halftime entertainment for you guys to enjoy whilst I just have a very quick break. So I will see you guys very shortly. It's Mixed, my partner channel, links and details there in the description. Do go and check him out. This is the Halloween Shooters Shots. Yeah, I'm still in Halloween mode. Enjoy!
What's going on, guys? Mixed here, back again for another Halloween cocktail video, but this time it's not cocktails, it is the shot. So let's get this party started. So if you are having a Halloween party, I recommend this shot. It's the Witch's Brew, and I will show you guys how to make it, but it wouldn't be right unless I go proper mixed. So I've got two special shots with it, as it's a mixed versus Czechia or the Czech Republic. So taking on the national spirit, Bekarovka, and of course this beautiful absinthe that I brought back from Prague, along with its national spirit as well. Cannot wait to try those two. So, but that's going to be a classic one. So Witch's Brew, and then 2 shots of the absinthe, and then the Bekarovka. So let's get straight into this. So let's make the Witch's Brew first. So what we want to do with the Witch's Brew is, it's 3 ingredients. So vodka, raspberry, and of course your Chambord. So a raspberry liqueur like that. That's what we're trying to achieve, is like a purple colour. So of course main ingredient is the vodka. I'm using bubblegum because I want it to be nice and sweet. Because if you want flavoured vodka, AU vodka is they're pretty good. They're pretty damn good. Next is our raspberry syrup. Already turning. Last one is Chambord. Enough purple on that. So there we have it, the Witch's Brew. So that's the first one out of the way. One thing you're going to notice, it's not as purple as what I like, but oh well. It's still just a 2-drink combination, but I'm using 3 with the Chambord because I want it to be a little bit more raspberry flavour instead of like the syrup. Because with the syrup I've used that just to sweeten it up a little bit. Now it's onto the Mixed Challenge, Aaron versus Czechia. So first, the Bekarovka. Oh, beautiful. Cameraman, give me a close-up. So that's the Bekarovka. So that's the Bekarovka. And next, we'll just take that to one side now, is the creme de la creme. So this is the absinthe. So this is Euphoria, just to let you know, this is Euphoria from Prague. Because we're going a little bit bohemian on this channel. It's 70% and I cannot wait to try this type of absinthe. And there we go, Euphoria Absinthe. If you ever do get a chance to go to Prague, I recommend the Absinthe bars, especially with its beer as well. I was going to say that's one thing to look out as well. Especially while you do the pub crawls, Absinthe bars, you're in your element, especially if you love booze like that, or if you want to have that bohemian experience, then I recommend it. But here is the 3 shots. So you got Witch's Brew, Bekarovka, and a Euphoria Absinthe. So with the Witch's Brew, that's going to be the sweetest one. That will be the one I enjoy the most. With the Bekarovka, that is 38%. It's a herbal liqueur, so think of it as a Jägermeister. And then absinthe is absinthe. That does not need any introduction.
I am not
But when I was in Prague, you can get cannabis absinthe as well. It's not something I really want to try, so don't forget it tastes that nice either. So this is how you get a Halloween party started. Happy Halloween! So, Witch's Brew. Cheers. It's like mine and JSGC's old Halloween challenges, or the shot challenges. A nice one to get started. It's a nice soft one. And that is, I really recommend it. It's because it's alright, that. But if you want to be creative, you could rim it as well. I was going to say, especially with like purple sugar. If you want to use purple food colour and then get the sugar and then rim it. And now, we're doing the Bekarovka. So, mixed versus Czechia. As expected to taste a lot, very similar to Jägermeister. That's what I was expecting from the smell. But it's not, it smells a little bit harsher. So this is Bekarovka. Because heavy murder in it, I do apologise to all the Czech people out there. Oh. So that, my friends, is Bekarovka. Wow. It's like a very spicy herbal liqueur. That's what it reminds me of. Very, very flavoury. So with Jägermeister, it's not as harsh as that. But that is Bekarovka. Wow. I say, I'm not stolen on the last one. I know it's 70%, it's Euphoria. And hopefully when I taste it, I'll be in Euphoria as well. So this, my friends, is Euphoria Absinthe. Cheers, and a happy Halloween, everyone. Wow. Oh. Wow. Once you let it sink in, you can taste all the flavour with it. It's a lot different to your normal absinthe, especially with the French ones like Pernod. And your stronger ones. 70%, it's 70% or 140 proof. But there's plenty of flavour with it. It's got to say, the Czech, the Bohemians know what they're doing with the absinthe. That is beautiful. And that's the deceiving thing. I thought it was going to be very harsh, very fiery down my throat like that. I thought it was going to kick in. I thought it would be coughing, spluttering everywhere. I may have did a little cough. But the flavour alone, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. That is fantastic. That is one of the best absinthes I've had. And like I said, I cannot rave enough about Czech absinthes. Just check out the absinthe bars. It's absolutely fantastic. And Euphoria, that is a 10 out of 10 absinthe. That is absolutely beautiful. It beats this one anyway. Like this, you know you've had it when you've had like Lafite, Absinthe Superior, or the Pernod, or your super strength absinthe. But all that is enjoyable. If you're a proper connoisseur, you'll enjoy Euphoria absinthe. Because I could enjoy that very, very slowly. Like I said, get my absinthe glass and caramelise it as well, just like the Bohemian way. Because that is beautiful. I really, really enjoyed it. And that is one of the best absinthes. I can't say that enough. But with the Bekarovka, I'll have to experiment more with it. I don't know too much about it, but I cannot wait to try it. But I think I've won this challenge. I think I've beat Bohemia, or the Czech Republic, or Czechia, the nation of Czechia. I beat your national drink, and I beat your way of doing the absinthe as well. Took it down like a champ, and you've not beaten me. I made that 1-0 to Mixed. But happy Halloween, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Mixed for more shot challenges like this, more Halloween drinks and more Halloween drinks and cocktails. Or if there's any recommendations you want me to do for this Halloween, just let me know in the comments below and I will be sure to make it. But I look forward to your responses as well. Just let me know in the comments below. But I've been Mixed. This has been my Halloween shot party challenge, and I will see you guys for my next Halloween cocktail video. Cheers.
Aaron was going to neck the shot that he's already necked right at the end. Do go and check out Mixed's link though. They are in the description. Matty, thanks for tuning in. Now, just having a good read there of all the comments through half time, and one that stood out to me. Let me just find it. There were two. Nadir made a really good point. Says we don't have the hunger that Liverpool and Arsenal have, and for him, he doesn't think that we're going to be winning the league. He can guarantee that, and I agree with that. I agree that when you're not showing the fighting, hunger, and desire that other teams are showing, you're going to find it very difficult to win the Premier League. Very difficult. Labatska, thanks for tuning in as well. As Manchester City just working it back here. It was Nyana, thanks for tuning in, made a really good point. Says, my gut feeling says second half it's going to be epic for Manchester City. And that's where my mindset is. That's why I have not overreacted. I'm not going to overreact to this either. I know what City are capable of. I have a firm belief that Manchester City, if they can be clinically in front of goal, I think we can still win this game. I always thought it was going to be a tight game, a close game. So I do expect a certain level of expectation that you expect Manchester City to show the fighting spirit and match Luton's enthusiasm. And if we can do that, we can make this game about quality. But at the moment, football's all about quality in front of goal. Scoring goals wins you games. And you do feel like Luton, who haven't kept a clean sheet all season, great bit of commentators curse before from Sky Sports letting us know that you fancy that City probably do go on to score a goal. So you think if Luton do want to win this game, then they're going to need a second goal. And that second goal could literally come right now. 48 minutes in, it's a corner for Luton. First corner. I said they're a physical side. They've been looking for them set pieces. They've been playing for them, for some of them in the first half. And they'll see this as a good opportunity. Put something of quality in the box and attack it. And it's good defending from City to get it clear. It's a good ball into the box, that as well. Here's Luton once more coming forward. Not the best of balls forward. A little bit unlucky. Not the best of balls forward though. Too much on it for Doherty to get to, and that will be a goal kick to Manchester City. So no harm done. As we're now 25 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be fantastic. Ted reckons Liverpool going to win the league this season. Big game coming up. Liverpool-Arsenal. Massive game. I think it's these games against each other that decide where the Premier League title goes. At the moment, everyone's just kind of been beating each other. And Aston Villa beat Manchester City and Arsenal. And in the title race. They are in the title race. They're ahead of us. Matty reckons, should we go back to the 4-3-3, not the 4-2-3-1? I think you need De Bruyne back for that, for me. I think we need De Bruyne back. You want to go back to the 4-3-3. Here's Jack Grealish now coming forward. Luton got everybody camped inside their own half. Adebayo just gives up on the challenge there of Grealish and just allows him a nice easy pass to Rodri, and that means if Man City now can just push themselves 10 yards further forward. Here's Kovacic to Grealish inside the penalty area now. Forced back out. Find Ruben Dias. Might Ruben Dias fancy a shot? I see City be a little bit more decisive. Not being decisive enough. Always looking for that extra touch, that extra pass, that extra cross. Put your foot through it, have a shot. Walker, ball into the box. It's well defended. So well defended. Kovacic has his shirt pulled by Townsend. Referee plays on, and then he's going to stop the game for a head injury. As Manchester City frustrated by that, but Doherty just looks like he's taking a little clip onto the back of the head, defending there for Luton. Is there any contact on his head? I mean, there's nothing. I think maybe Kyle Walker has put a lot of pace on the ball, that maybe he's injured or hurt his head heading the ball clear, but I've got a head injury from heading the ball. Or maybe the time wasting. We'll put a suggestion out there. Why has Pep changed it from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1? I presume Pep likes... it worked wonders, that formation change. It kept teams guessing. That's a great ball. Here's Bernardo Silva now, to the right wing. I'll come back to your comment in a second, Matty, as Walker just drills a ball across. Rodri gets in the right place, and he doesn't get his shot right, and it ends up going out for a throw-in in the end. It worked wonders, that formation change last season. I think it just got a bit too predictable for Manchester City. We ended up having more control. The understandings that were formed from the likes of Rodri and John Stones in midfield meant City were just having more control. Teams didn't know how to beat us. They didn't know how to break us down. I think... If we wanted to go back to that 4-3-3, I mean, you're going to have to go with a flat back four. Pep likes his players to invert. Nathan Ake up against Adebayo, and the bounce just doesn't fall nicely. And City really struggled with the physicality of Adebayo. And I'm going back to what I was saying at the beginning of the game. It's a physical battle. You have to be up for that physical battle, because if you're not, Luton will be all over that. And that's dangerous, very dangerous from Luton. Caught high up from Julian Alvarez, and City do have the ball. Kyle Walker takes the throw in to Rodri, gives the ball to Mateo Kovacic. It turns out Pep Guardiola was unhappy about the throw-in being given against City, even though it was like 2 minutes before the goal came in, so I don't think that's an excuse to be unhappy. And he thought it was overtime, and it wasn't overtime. So I don't think there's any cause for complaints for City. I think they've got no one to blame but themselves as to why we find ourselves in this situation that we're losing to Luton. Here is Mateo Kovacic, gives it to Rodri. About 35 yards out from goal, City just driving forward. They've got nowhere to go. Low block firmly in place here, and that should be a free kick. And referee says, Jack Grealish, get up. Tell you what, man, this referee, Ruben Dias, really unhappy with that. It doesn't amount to anything for Luton Town, but this referee, I thought Premier League standards couldn't get any worse than just find new depths of low week in, week out. Jack Grealish just shoved to the ground, get up. Best league in the world. Here's Rodri, works it to Kyle Walker. City are attacking the away fans. Second half. Luton do love a conceding of a goal, and City do get their free kick. So Foden goes down, he has his foot stepped on, and this is in a good area. Elliot, thanks for tuning in. Elliot reckons they're going to park the bus and then at 80 minutes they'll start to tire and we'll get more opportunities. Says, hope we can just break them down before the 80th minute, that we can have a grandstand finish, and that might be the best chance to go at to try and pick up the 3 points for Manchester City. Said he was playing at school and played football at lunchtime the other day and headed the ball with a crown, and he had a throbbing headache all day. It might just have been the amount of pace that was put on it by Kyle Walker. Connects on the wrong part of the head, that you're heading clear, it can hurt. I've just never heard of a professional football player going down with a head injury from heading the ball. Anyway, it's a great position for a free kick for City. Bernardo Silva to take. No, Alvarez to take, and deflected and out for a corner to Manchester City. It nearly caught Luton Town out. I think the keeper had it covered like. Steve says, can't blame the referee. I'm not blaming the referee for Man City's performances. I'm just making the comment that the refereeing standards in the Premier League are a joke. I did say in the first half, and I'll stick to what I said in the first half, the referee's been not brilliant for both sides. It looked like it struck an arm somewhere. Luton feel like it came off a City arm. Nothing given, and ball just gets played forward. My example with the referee is there was a foul throw that didn't go punished by the referee, as Everton have taken the lead through Decore at Goodison Park. It'll be a massive 3 points that for Everton. Chelsea continue just to be very inconsistent, and our result at Stamford Bridge just doesn't look great. An original free kick given to Manchester City on Bernardo Silva there. And first yellow card comes out as well. I think Nakamba's talked himself into the book there. Zipping him in like walking. There you go. See? As Nakamba gets his 5th yellow card, and he'll miss the big game against Bournemouth at the weekend for Luton Town. No, next weekend I should say. Here's Ruben Dias, finds Kyle Walker. Rodri was in acres of space and the pass never came. And Walker makes a run and just goes through the back of Jack Grealish, and a free kick is given to Man City this time. Last time weren't enough, this time it is. Inconsistent again. Anyway, back to the referee. So he didn't give a foul throw for something that was a foul throw. Crowd were unhappy about it, so it felt like every throw in City are doing now he's going to scrutinise, and anything that he thinks looks a bit dodgy he's now going to give as a foul throw. And we had a foul throw that ended up 2 minutes later leading to the Luton goal. I'm not using it as the excuse, but that's a great ball. Ake, handball. Oh, surely crossbar from Manchester City. Ruben Dias. I think the keeper might have got a hand onto that. Rodri rocket and wide. And there is a VAR check for handball now. So first things first, offside is fine. Nathan Ake is onside. It falls nicely, slides in, not handball for me. Ruben Dias really should have buried that though. But Will Pep out. What is happening at City? Motivation, not defending properly, not putting the chances away. A confidence issue maybe. A bit of self-doubt. A bit of complacency. I think you take everything I said there and mix it all together, and I think that's what City are dealing with. They're dealing with a really bad treble hangover, I think. Really bad treble hangover. I think motivation's perhaps the biggest factor here. I feel like if Man City had something to play for, you know, this was last 10 games of the season, we've got to win all 10 games to potentially win the Premier League, you'd see a different approach from the players. And they're just putting themselves into a difficult situation. Now that looked like it came off the arm of Jack Grealish, not given. (4-0) Fulham, Wilson. Wow, West Ham having a bad day at the office. Real bad day. As we're now just 22 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. Here's Kovacic. Works it to Josko Gvardiol, back to Kovacic once more. Phil Foden. So Luton have survived the first phase of the second half. They've got it to the hour mark. I think they'll just assess it every 10 minutes. Can you get to the 70th minute? Can you get to the 80th minute? Here's Rodri coming forward for City. Fred somebody in, have a shot, do something. He goes down, shot, equaliser. It's a great finish. Bernardo Silva on his stronger left foot. Rodri just barrages himself forward, and it's a well-taken goal from Bernardo Silva, and Manchester City back on level terms here. And boy, that was needed. It really was. And Luton can't keep that clean sheet, the first clean sheet of the season. It doesn't happen. It's a well-taken goal from Bernardo. And just past the hour mark, we're back on level terms. Todd, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Don't think Todd will be too happy about what's going on with West Ham at the moment. George, thanks for tuning in. Supporting Cardiff City. As Elliot says, sticking with the 2-1 win. So, big 28 minutes for Manchester City here. Really big 28 minutes. Can we find another? Can we go ahead? Ball comes forward. Rodri gets a foot onto it. And cleared. And Luton can gather that one up. Luton not had a shot here in the second half, sorry. Man City continuing their theme of 5 shots, 1 on target, and the ratio of shots to shots on target not being great. And finally, we do find that goal with that shot on target. Ball gets sent forward, defended well by Luton. Is it looking for the interception? Looked like it might have come off the arm of Alvarez. Not given. And Man City into the penalty area here. Squared across and not defended. Jack Grealish into the back of the net. Jack Grealish at the back post for Manchester City. And City scored 2 in, 3 minutes there. And City turn it all around. Luton aren't happy. I think they want handball. I'm not going to change the scores. Alvarez, it looked like he leaned in. The question is, does it come off his chest, his shoulder or his arm? But if it doesn't come off his arm, then it's come off his face. Never mind. Has it come off his arm or his shoulder or his chest? It's his face it comes off. And this looks like a legit goal for Manchester City. And Jack Grealish at the right place at the right time. Alvarez with the assist through the keeper's legs. And it takes 3 minutes and City turn it all around. And Jackie G, right place at the right time. It's 2-1 Manchester City. Things we love to see. Much better from Manchester City. I said, that's why I didn't lose the plot. I said in the first half, and I'm going to replicate what I said there. That Manchester City, the only thing we hadn't done was be clinical and put the ball into the back of the net. As Pep Guardiola's tapping his face to Rob Edwards, the manager of Luton Town there, as he was moaning. He thought it was handball. It wasn't handball. Luton, though, got the ball and the tails up. They want to find an equaliser. They were involved in a goal fest against Arsenal on Tuesday night, and they are more than happy to adapt their game and go from a defensive style of play to an attacking style of play, and that's great work from Adebayo, and that's out for a corner to Luton and City. Got some defending to do. And these are crucial parts of this game. The big problems that we've had against Chelsea, against Liverpool, against Spurs, in them drop points, the problem that we've had in them games has been our inability to kill games off. And here we have ourselves a small, slender lead, 1 goal. We've done well to get ourselves into this position. We need to keep hold of it. Corner comes in, headed clear. Rodri it is. And further headed clear there by Nathan Ake. Only finds Andros Townsend on the right. And space does open up here for Luton Town, and another ball comes into the box and it's headed clear by Julian Alvarez and out for a throw into Luton. So it's important that City just keep control. Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley just wide. It'd have been an outstanding goal if he'd put that into the back of the net. I tell you what, Ross Barkley has been a shining light for Luton Town. He really has. His ability to create the first goal. He doesn't get a goal. He doesn't get an assist, so he doesn't get the statistics. But it's Ross Barkley's work in the build-up that gets that goal for Luton Town, and he very nearly gets another. As Josko Gvardiol is going to come off for Manchester City, and John Stones is going to come on as City look to try and shore up that midfield a little bit. Manchester City fan, I agree. So just don't bloody drop the intensity now. It can't be dropped. As Elliot, you did say, City turn it round and get the goal. 2-1 Manchester City lead. Will says, I think City will go on and get a few here. It's like breaking the seal after a few pints. Like London buses. You wait a while for 1. 2 come along at once. You get your confidence, you get your mojo. Bam! You can go on to go and grab 3 or 4. That looks like it's come off a hand, and that will be an advantage played to Manchester City. I think I'd have preferred to have had the 3 kick. Ball gets played forward. Well controlled by Phil Foden. He wants a 3 kick. He stays down. Referee says no. Kyle Walker goes through the back. Luton continue to come forward, and that's a great challenge from Ruben Dias. Really is a good challenge, and that will be a free kick now for Manchester City. Phil Foden in a heap of pain. And Bernardo Silva's message very clear there. Slow the tempo down, calm it down a little bit. Big 21 minutes or so coming up here for Manchester City. Oh, both feet are off the ground. He makes a little bit of contact with Phil Foden's feet. Yeah, VAR are having a look at this. Oh, it's 2 feet off the ground. He could be in trouble here. Ooh. He's going to get a red card here. He's going to get a red card here for that. He jumps in with 2 feet. He doesn't dive in. He just studs her up, jumping in, and he makes contact. Very minimal contact with Phil Foden, thankfully. He just scrapes the front of his studs onto the bottom of his ankle. A nasty one. Could have been a lot worse for Phil Foden. The question has to be asked here. Is he out of control on the tackle? Is it serious foul play? Is it a dangerous tackle? Does it endanger the player? And I think the answer to that is yes. They're playing on. No punishment. It's not even given a foul. VAR have said to that it's not a red card, and because it's not a red card, they're not going to go and have another look at it. They can't give a yellow card. They can't give a free kick. They can't overturn that decision. And for me, what is a red card dangerous challenge Not even a free kick. I'm going back to what I said before about the referee. The referee's a joke. VAR's a joke. The whole officiating across the whole league is just an absolute joke. The commentator makes a really good point about the inconsistencies of officiating. He says on another day with another official and another VAR official, they could easily have had a different result and given a red card there. Couple of subs being made. As Nakamba and Townsend come off and Morris and Lokonga come on. Sambi Lokonga. I feel like we need a third just to kill this game off, I think. Anyway, we're just 15 likes away from 100 likes, ladies and gentlemen of men. So any help towards that would be great. Please do subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Throw in here for City then, with just over 18 minutes remaining. Luton have started to push further forward and cause City problems, and Rodri, I think, is going to go into the book. It's another yellow card for Rodri. Comes back from a ban and first game back gets himself a cheap yellow card. Goes through the back, brings him down. It's a cheap yellow card. I think Rodri's got to be... He's a wonderful player. He is a phenomenal defensive central midfielder. Phenomenal. But for someone as good as him, he's got to be smart, and he's got to be smarter than that situation that he finds himself in there. It's such a cheap yellow card. If it leads to a red card here, it leads to another suspension. It potentially, at some point in the season, he'll get 10 yellow cards and a 2-game ban. And these cheap yellow cards add up. Here's Bernardo coming forward. Bernardo's looked good for Manchester City today. That's good defending from Luton, and that will be a throw into Manchester City. That's a good question. Who does have the most yellow cards? Let's have a look. Player stats, yellow cards. So Rodri's just gone on to 6. So he's joint 4th most yellow cards. There's 3 players joint on 7. It's Edson Alvarez of West Ham, Emerson of West Ham, and Nicholas Jackson of Chelsea. All have 7. So there you go, as City have themselves a free kick here. Andrew, completely agree. He is our glue. He's so important to Manchester City. I think he needs to recognise his importance and not give away silly yellow cards. At some point, come back to bite us on the backside. Free kick here for City. Alvarez to take. So just going to whip a ball in. It's deep. Keeper fist it clear. Kovacic. Good block and offside flag. Now that's disappointing from City. Offside from a free kick should never be happening. Schoolboy stuff. Literally see across the line when a set piece is being taken. Should never be offside from a free kick for me. It's as criminal as not beating the first man on a corner. Wastes a good position there. But just tick away at the clock, 15 minutes to go. Can we get back to winning ways? Can we hold on? Can't stress enough the importance of this game. I really can't. We need the 3 points. We really do. I've been impressed with Jack Grealish. He's in the running here for a potential man of the match performance. Here's Morris. Gets it under control. So we've got Ruben Dias and Jack Grealish for company. Can't get it past Dias and out for a throw into Luton. More defending then for Manchester City to do. That's not that too far, but he's done so well to keep that in, and Rodri gets a foot onto it, and City can come away with the ball here. They'll be looking for a free kick or something. They've not got it though, and Luton have got the ball back, giving the ball away high up there. Manchester City, well defended by Nathan Ake, and City can come away with the ball, and it's another ball giveaway from City. Here's Ross Barkley. Him and Adebayo have been two big standouts, I think, for Luton today, and the goalkeeper. And Phil Foden. Phil Foden's had a good game. There's been a lot of good games for a lot of players. There's a lot of positives to take from this. It's been a very nitty-gritty, grinding game, and that will be a yellow card as well. I've been criticising the referee. I have to be fair. I thought that was good officiating. He waited to see if there was an advantage. In Man City's build-up to our first goal, he played an advantage, and he kept the advantage. So referees have been made aware, so that was good officiating there from the ref. He waits to see if there's an advantage. There isn't the advantage. He'll blow for the free kick, and he'll give the punishment there to Doherty, and he receives a yellow card for pulling Mateo Kovacic back and stopping the potential counter-attack from Manchester City. And Manchester City fan, we'll be taking on Crystal Palace next week on the 16th. We'll have another live watch-along for you guys to look forward to. We'll have another live watch-along midweek against Red Star, even though it doesn't mean anything. We'll have a good time, though, I am sure. Here's Jack Grealish into the penalty area. Goes for the back post, and that's well defended out by Giles at the back post. Doesn't have eyes in the back of his head. He doesn't know what the danger is behind him. There was a Bernardo Silva lurking behind him, so he sensibly does the right thing and says, you know what, I'll take control of the situation and I'll put the ball out of play. Goes out for a corner to Manchester City. Taken short by Julian Alvarez. Words with Phil Foden. Gives it to Bernardo. Walker's going to chip a ball into the back post. Nathan Ake gets his head onto it. Ruben Dias can't work anything, and it falls nicely for Bernardo, and another good block. How many good blocks have Luton done today? So many good blocks. I think on another day Man City could easily have scored 4 or 5, and I think that's credit there to the Luton defence and goalkeeper. We're in a position where we've got to hold on to what we've got. And these have been our stumbling blocks. Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs. That's why we dropped points. We couldn't get the job done. It's a great challenge from Foden. Alvarez! He slips as he takes the shot, and it goes over the top of the crossbar. Just about. Good effort from Julian Alvarez. What a great challenge from Phil Foden. Brilliant sliding challenge on Ross Barkley. And he just slips at the vital time, so he doesn't make a clean connection. Julian Alvarez. You reckon he keeps his balance. He might just have been able to have kept that a yard under and caused the keeper a real worry. Goes over the top of the crossbar. And a goal kick for Luton, which is wasted, and City have the ball back, though. Ross Barkley picks the pocket of Rodri. Ball gets played to the left-hand side, which Giles will be able to keep in. And good covering there from Bernardo Silva, but it will be a Luton corner, so more defending. More defending for Manchester City to do. 11 minutes remaining here. Can Luton muster up another opportunity? Massive 11 minutes or so left for Manchester City. Can we hold on? Luton's third corner. The other 2 corners that they've put into the box have caused City problems. They've had to defend them and defend them well. So I suspect that this is going to be the same again. It'll be right on the money. Morris is forward. It looks like a big push there on the face, I think, of Mateo Kovacic. So it should have been a free kick to Manchester City, which referee's not given. No comment. Another cross comes in, cleared by Mateo Kovacic. Not the greatest of balls in that from Giles. But Luton do still have the ball, so more defending for Manchester City to do here. More work, nearly intercepted. And City will get that interception in the end. Luton just give the chase up there and will choose to regroup instead, which Kyle Walker will send long, and Lockyer gets his head onto it, but only to Phil Foden. And Jack Grealish under pressure there, can't hold the ball, and it will be cleared by Luton Town. And here's Kyle Walker, his turn to do a bit of defending as well, and that will be kept in by Rodri. Does really well there, Rodri. Really well. Finds Phil Foden. I just not got enough on that to find Jack Grealish, and him and did Jack Grealish just lash out? I don't know what happened there. Him and Lockyer got into a tangle, so that comes from a minute ago when Lockyer and Jack Grealish went to hold the ball up and Lockyer was too strong for him. Clearly unhappy about some grappling or something, so there was afters then. Used to be a saying called argy bargy. That's what that was. Handbags. Is Julian Alvarez for Manchester City. So I think it's so important here that City just keep pushing, try and get that third. Kovacic couldn't get past Lockyer, and he's gonna run that one out of play for a throw-in. They've worked so hard here, Luton. Could say whatever we want, but there's no denying Luton Town's desire and fighting spirit is there to be seen. And Manchester City, I made a comment at the beginning of the stream saying that we're going to let Luton Town go through the war. That's what I expected from Manchester City in response from these poor results and these poor performances, in particular against Villa. But City have been put through the war here by Luton Town. Such a difficult place to come to and get points and win the game. Julian Alvarez does so well. Ball ends up into the away end, and that will be a goal kick in the end to Luton Town as Mateo Kovacic goes off and Matheus Nunes comes on. Chong is going to come on for Luton Town. So that's City's second change, and this is going to be Luton's third, I think. I wonder if Luton's just ran out of steam. I can't remember who it was before. It might have been Elliot. I can't remember if it was Elliot or somebody else. I apologise. I can't remember. He made a really good point. City want to get themselves into a positive position by the 80th minute and push from the 80th minute because they reckon Luton's going to tire, and I think that's what's happening here. But I don't want to speak too soon. We've not got that killer 2-goal cushion. And whilst we've not got that killer 2-goal cushion, Luton still have a chance to take points here off Manchester City. Never take anything for granted. John says, get another please, City. I think that's City's best way of defending this game as Tahith Chong does come on and it's Giles that comes off. Is Man City coming forward again. Lockyer gets in the right place and Phil Foden goes down under a challenge. I tell you what, that Lockyer's a proper shit house, isn't he? I love that from Elliot. He says he's got it right, so he's going for 6-0. City next weekend against Palace. As we're in the blackout for that actually in here in the UK. So we get to have the fun and game with the streams. As the offside flag goes up against Luton. The atmosphere is it's had a sting taken away. And 2 goals in 3 minutes from Manchester City has done damage. That's a great ball from Ruben Dias. He finds the back of Matheus Nunes' legs and ball falls nicely here for Luton and they'll get the ball clear, but not a great clearance. Thumbs up there from Pep Guardiola, who likes to press him from Matheus Nunes. And that'll be a throw into Manchester City. I'm not impressed with Manchester City today. I don't think we've been too bad. I think it'll do. I want us to get that killer 3rd goal. And I know we don't want to be put through this by what I'm going to suggest, but I think it'll do City the world of good defensively if we hold this to 2-1. That we don't have to rely on killer 2-goal cushions to win games. Sometimes just going ahead is enough. We can defend it. We can see games out. We can control games. And it's that control that we've got to be looking for. There's been certain games this season where we dropped points that we've not looked like we had control of that game. Chelsea away is a prime example of that. times in the Spurs match, certainly in the Aston Villa match, there were times when we weren't controlling the game. We didn't have that control. Right now, Manchester City have all the control of this game, and I think it would be so important that we see the job out, and it'll do the confidence for the players the world of good. I wanted that response against Aston Villa, it never came. City have worked hard and tried hard. We've gone behind, we're disappointed. It takes a lot of effort to come out in the second half against a difficult Luton side, away from home, to turn it round, to pick up them 3 points. And we're 4 minutes away from that. As Ake puts a ball in, takes a deflection and goes straight into the hands of the keeper. So this is where Luton now trying to push forward. As I said, there's some players that just look tired. Seamus, Everton are 1-0 up against Chelsea at the moment. We are keeping an eye on the other matches as well. Here is Chong into the Manchester City half, under pressure from Matheus Nunes, and Chong just bundled over, and that will be a free kick to Luton Town, which is going to be taken, or they wanted to take quickly, but Ross Barkley's surely going to take this opportunity. He's going to give the ball away, gives it to Jack Grealish. Why have they not just taken the opportunity to send the big lads forward and pump a ball into the City box? It's such a poor giveaway. Julian Alvarez is going to win this foot race here, and that goes out, and I think that's going to be a goal kick in the end. As we're now 13 likes from 100 likes, so guys, let's get them likes up. Let's make it a 100 liked live stream. That would be much appreciated. Do leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe as well. That would be much appreciated. We've got over 50 people in the room, so welcome to everybody that is tuning in. I do hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend wherever you are tuning in from around the world. City doing a nice professional job here. 2 minutes and counting left of this game, as we get a picture of Kalvin Phillips' grim. It makes it sound like I'm calling Kalvin Phillips grim. I'm not. He just looks unhappy on the Manchester City bench. I don't think he'll be a Manchester City player come January, if I'm honest. I think he will get a start against Red Star Belgrade, against Crvena Zvezda, and that will be his last. I reckon that'll be his last game for Manchester City. I really do. Well-timed free kick here for Manchester City. It's going to give us a free kick in a good crossing position. I think Man City are just going to take this opportunity just to knock the ball around. And considering we've not had much control in midfield, it's nice to get more control in that midfield. It makes a world of difference having Rodri there. Bernardo, Foden played very well for City. Let's not forget, this is a game where we've not had Jeremy Doku. We've not had Erling Haaland. It's not an easy thing to even go behind and come back and win this game. And I think I'm going to give my JSGC man of the match. I'm going to give it to... I nearly gave it to Jack Grealish. Grabbed the goal for Manchester City today, that all-important second goal that could go on to win the game. I think Phil Foden's been excellent, but I think my man of the match is going to go to Bernardo Silva. And I've been very impressed with Ross Barkley for Luton, and that Adebayo as well up top. So it's a real unit. And City and Bobb are here, and yeah, it's going to be a free kick for Luton. 90th minute. Free kick here in a good position. A free kick here in a dangerous position. As we're into the first of 6 minutes. 6 minutes for Man City to see the job out here. What can Ross Barkley do from this? Ederson just making sure he's getting his angles covered. It is far out, this. It's a good 30 yards out. Maybe more. Do you go for goal? Do you go for a ball into the box? It's a shootable range. I I think if I'm Ross Barkley, I think I'm tempted to have an effort on goal here. Doherty's also stood over this. If he wants to put a ball into the box, he is going to. And that's well defended from Nathan Ake. It's out for a corner. Brilliant bit of defending from Nathan Ake. Well read. Going back to my point I was making to you guys before, I think it's so important that Man City develop the confidence to see games out. This has been our struggle. Corner for Luton. More defending for City. And, oh my word, Ederson missed the ball and City have done enough. That's touched the hand of Jack Grealish. Well, that was handball. Chong's appealing for handball. I think that might have been handball. Let's have a look. Chong. Oh, his arms are by his side. Not for me, not for me. It does touch his arm, but his arms are down here. They're not out. Does strike his arm. And we're right with that. Another corner, more defending. More defending for City to do. That's a well-won header from Nathan Ake. And City do really well just to force Luton back, and that high line from City comes forward, and that's a good header won by Julian Alvarez. Out for another throw-in for Luton. This is a grandstand finish. And I certainly agree. They have looked good, Luton, today. They've made life real difficult for Manchester City. They had such a good game, I thought, against Arsenal. They were desperately unlucky. They've pushed Manchester City all the way here. They've taken points off Liverpool. A massive game next week against Bournemouth. A different kind of game, different kind of pressures. They're the big games. They're the games that decide if you stay in the Premier League or not. You can find the motivation against the Premier League champions and the title contenders. Can you find the motivation for the teams that maybe are going to be around you come the end of the season? The teams that may be in the bottom half, that should be a throw into Manchester City, and it is, as Phil Foden comes off and Manuel Akanji comes on. Ooh. Okay. More work for City. Now it's headed out for another throw into City. Manchester City have just taken their time. I presume that the referee will just be adding all this on. There's been a lot of inactive play in these 3.5 minutes that have been played. Rodri just gets a head onto that and it goes out of play for a throw into Luton. Rodri happy to concede the possession in the chance to organise the defensive line and says push forward, put them under pressure. Free kick, Luton Town. Just inside the Manchester City half, and a chance here for Luton to once again knock this ball forward as Everton have doubled their lead. Dobin's given Everton a 2-0 lead against Chelsea. That should be the 3 points for Everton. There's 3 points for Everton today. It's 3 points for Fulham against West Ham today. Can City get the job done here and get the important 3 points against Luton? 2 minutes in counting. Long ball comes forward. Luton. The ball folds kindly. The ball folds kindly. Cross comes in and Ederson collects that one. This has been a good professional defensive performance, in particular second half here from Manchester City. Don't forget, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. We're now just 12 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do subscribe as well if you are new around here. And it's a free kick to Manchester City, a handball inside the Luton half, a chance for that defensive line to push forward, and a chance here for City to eat away at more vital seconds, as we're now 11 likes away from 100 likes. 11 to go. Can we get there? There's 1 minute left of the game. Into the 96th minute. 6 minutes added on here as we're into the nervous 90s. 9 likes to go. Please do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Julian Alvarez just chips the ball away out of play for a throw into Luton. Bernardo Silva not happy with Jack Grealish. It's almost like City just conceded the possession and Luton can't sort the clearance out, and Bernardo Silva's just going to leave that one, and that'll be a throw into Manchester City. Nathan Ake with the throw. And I said there's been a lot of inactive play in this in added time. That's a goal kick to Luton. So I suspect there might be another minute or so left of this match. So we're going to go into added time. On added time, it's up to the referee's discretion now. I think he's happy for play to continue. This is where we had the trouble. Or Luton did anyway against Arsenal in this period now. And Luton into the penalty area. And a good challenge comes in. And that's going to be one last chance for Luton. One last bit of defending. The instruction from Rob Edwards. Keeper comes forward. Everyone into the Manchester City penalty area. The game comes down to this. Corner kick, Luton. Added time on added time. More defending for City to do. Corner comes in. There's pushing, shoving going on. Doesn't beat the first man. It's headed clear. Falls to Chong. Ball needs to go into the box. It does. Ederson's going to collect that one. And that is the full-time whistle. And Ederson just smacks the ball out of the stadium. Because why not? That is a much needed 3 points. Maybe we breathe a sigh of relief. We're just happy to get back to winning ways. 4 games in a row we dropped points. We're back to winning ways. We've got 3 more huge Premier League games to come between now and New Year. Crystal Palace at home next week. Must-win game again for Manchester City. And it gives us a bit of room for manoeuvre when it comes to the potential of qualifying for the Champions League. We can, for now, stop thinking about that and start thinking about launching our title bid once more. Playing catch-up to Villa, playing catch-up to Arsenal, playing catch-up to the current leaders after match day number 16 with Liverpool. And remember, big game coming up very soon with Liverpool playing Arsenal, so just something to think about. Plenty more points to be gained, plenty more points to be dropped between now and the end of the season. There we go. Professional job for Manchester City. Do get your thoughts in the live chat. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. We're now just 5 likes away from 100 likes. So by the time I get through the promo, maybe we'll hit 100 likes. That would be absolutely fantastic. A City win, back to winning ways. What's not to like? We're now 4 likes away from 100 likes. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Much appreciated. Do leave a thumbs up. Let's get to 100 likes. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. We will be live with another live stream midweek with Manchester City on Wednesday. It's the early kickoff in the Champions League, taking on Crvena Zvezda away from home. Can Manchester City do something we have never done before? And that's win every single Champions League group stage game. Never done it before. We're bidding to do that in Belgrade on Wednesday. Already sealed qualification to the Champions League last 16. In first place, there'll be plenty of rotation on offer. Potentially the last time we'll ever see Kalvin Phillips in a Manchester City shirt as well. Should be a good game of football. It was a good game at the Etihad when we took on Crvena Zvezda as well. Should be a very intense atmosphere, a very unique place to go and visit. We'll have all the build-up to that, of course, coming throughout the week. We'll be live with that, and we'll be live at the weekend as well with another live watch-along with Manchester City's game against Crystal Palace at the Etihad Stadium as well. So do subscribe if you haven't already. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and check out my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget as well, if you're watching this after the game, get your thoughts in the comments below. Are you happy? What went well? What can City improve on for next weekend's game against Crystal Palace in the Premier League? Get them in the comments. If we're live and you're tuning in right now, then get your post-match thoughts in there as well. Seamus saying, great win. Thanks, Jay. You are more than welcome. JSGC Football, that's Aaron tuning in from the JSGC Football account. Went to Norwich away yesterday and did a match vlog, so do go and check that out if you've got any spare time and you are subscribed over there. That would be much appreciated. John says, and calm, as JSGC Football gets 5 points as well, so he's very happy with that on his Super 6. Andrew says, enjoy the day, everybody. Julia, hip hip hooray. MCFR says, yes. Ricard, I think I'm where you are. Phew. MCFR says, good win in the end there for Manchester City. And there we go, all ready and good to go. Douglas, thanks very much for that. Says been watching Typical City, doing some great work at Typical City as well. So kudos to them. There's lots of quality Manchester City content creators out there. Do go and check all of them out. They're all working really hard, covering the same content in our own unique perspective, in our own different ways. So do go and show them and the other City content creators a lot of love as well. Mullen says, good win for Manchester City, as we're now just 1 like from 100 likes. Who wants the pleasure of being the 100th like? Because I think that's a perfect way to end this live stream. I will have my match review out within the next hour for you guys to enjoy. So thank you so much for watching. Much appreciated. City win. United lose to Bournemouth. As we do hit 100 likes, which is absolutely fantastic. So salute to you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your weekend. See you on Wednesday. Zvena Zvezda against Manchester City from hell. I'll see yous for that. So I've been JSGC. I do hope everybody is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.